Hi there, my name is Marina Newington, and I help new female entrepreneurs cut through the overwhelm of conflicting advice to crack the code of getting clients and making money. And I am here today to talk to you about rebooting 2021. Okay, now, I don't know if you can believe this or not, but we are halfway into the year. Now, a lot of us went into 2021 with a lot of hopes because 2020 was a real doozy, wasn't it? I mean, oh my God, between the COVID and the lockdowns and all the prohibitions, and you can't do this, and the homeschooling, and you can't go to work. I mean, it was crazy, right? It was an absolutely crazy time. And a lot of us, we look forward to 2021 with a lot of hope that this was the year that we were going to get back to normal. So I kept saying to everyone that the first quarter, at least, you have to admit it's not going to be back to normal. And certainly in the UK, it's only recently that things are starting to feel more normal here. So it's taken a while, but here we are halfway through the year. And I want to talk to you today about taking a look at your business and seeing where you are now. Because have you achieved the goals that you wanted to achieve so far? Are you on track to do what you wanted to do that you set out for yourself at the beginning of the year? And if not, what is it that you need to do in order to course correct to get the results that you want for 2021? Because listen, my friend, it is not too late. Halfway through is loads of time. There is plenty of time for you to make 2021 amazing, for you to make 2021 a roaring success. And what I'm going to do with you today is show you 7 simple steps that you can take to reboot 2021 and make sure that it delivers the results that you deserve. Okay, so let's dive in. Now, I have all of the details of this in the vlog below, but I'm just going to go through the top line of all of this with you now. So let's see. Step 1 is look at the big picture. Okay, so this is really important. First, you want to take a step back and look at where you are now in terms of your values and goals and your business goals as opposed to where you were 6 months ago. So a lot can change, right? The economic environment can change, your personal circumstances can change, or maybe you tried doing some things and they worked or they didn't work and your attitude towards them have changed. So it's important to take a step back and look at the big picture and see if you are still aligned with the goals that you set yourself at the beginning of the year. So are these still the things that you want to be doing? So that's what you need to take a look at, and that's step 1. Then we move on to step 2, which is to analyze your successes. Now, I love this, right? Let's take a look at what has gone well so far this year. Have you had a launch? Did you do a workshop? Did you do a webinar? Did you do a talk? Did you do one-on-one coaching? Did you create a new product? What have you done this year that has worked? Okay, this is the time to take a look at what has gone well so far. And then you can think, do I want to do more of this? So let me give you an example. Let's say you did a workshop and it went so well. You were so pleased with the turnout. Lots of people came, you got lots of great feedback, and you made sales. Awesome. So going forward, maybe you only have one more workshop scheduled, but because it went so well, maybe this is something you want to do more of. Maybe you want to do 3 workshops over the next 6 months. Maybe you want to do a workshop a month. It depends what you're able to do. Maybe you can rerun the one that you did over and over again. So, this is something that you want to look at. What went well and what can you do more of? And then you want to look at the flip side of this. What didn't go well? And if it didn't go well, you have 2 choices. One, you can really dig deep into it and see what didn't work. Is this something I want to continue pursuing? Is this something that I want to make work? Or is this something that from step 1 in the big picture, I realize I'm no longer aligned with and I no longer want to pursue, and I want to use my energies to focus on other things? You have an opportunity to take that decision. Okay, you don't have to stick to what you decided back in January if things have changed for you. You can make a new plan. You can make a new 6-month plan, and that's what we're doing here today. Okay, let's move on to step 3, which is setting a stretching goal. Okay, this is awesome. All right, and it's really important. Now, I talk all about setting goals in my Goals Are Your Number One Asset framework. Okay, asset stands for aligned, stretching, specific, evaluate, and timely. So that is the whole framework that I teach in order to set goals. But let's just talk about stretching a second, because this is really important. I want you to look at the goals that you've set for yourself and see if they challenge you. Okay, if they are very easy to achieve, then they are not going to motivate you. And when you get to those moments where you just don't feel like working, other things come up, it doesn't seem like it's a real priority, you're not going to be motivated to move forward and do those things because those goals aren't pushing you forward. Okay, on the other side, you don't want to set goals that are so out there that they're unattainable and they're out of reach, and you're going to feel totally depressed if you can't make them happen. So that's not something that works either. So what you need to remember is to set stretching goals, so goals that go beyond what you think you can do right now, but not goals that are unattainable. So you need to find that balance and make sure you push yourself out of your comfort zone, okay? I want you to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Why? Because you can do it. I know you have this. Okay, let's move on to number 4, which is setting targets. Okay, now this is a really, really important thing to do. And I have an example of it down below here for you. But what I want you to do is really set a specific target for each month going forward. So say your goal is to increase your email list. Okay, let's take some nice round numbers. Let's say your email list is 500 currently, and by the end of the year, you want to double it. You want to be at 1,000 people on your email list. Okay, now that's really, it's a specific goal. It's fantastic. But let's map that out. Let's set some targets across those 6 months to see where we want to be. Now, if you're launching something, maybe you can do some Facebook ads, or maybe you can do some other kind of activity to really give you a boost, and you can get like 200 or 300 people in at once. Maybe you can do a challenge on your Facebook group. There are all sorts of activities and strategies that you can use that cost money and that don't cost money to grow your email list. And that's one of the things I talk about in my client attraction. So there are lots of strategies that you could use, but you need to set yourself the targets along the way. So let's say you're starting off at the end of June with 500. So by the end of July, you want to have 600 people on your list. Then by the end of August, you want to have 700 people on your list. And then, so on and so forth. And, move it up as you want. So, but set those targets and put those numbers in, because that's really important, because then you know what it is that you are working towards. And when you know what you're working towards, then you know what you need to do in order to hit those numbers. Otherwise it's vague and you have this like number, okay, by the end of the year, I need to get to 1,000. I'm not exactly sure. How are you doing along the way? How are you going to measure your success? How are you going to measure if you're on track? By setting targets. Okay, next. Step 5, break it down into weekly tasks. All right, I do this with my weekly planning worksheet. This one right here. But on this worksheet, I always write down the top 3 monthly tasks, the top 3 weekly tasks, and then what the weekly tasks are, how long it's going to take me to do them. And I break them down into business tasks, and I also include family tasks, because I have 4 kids and I have a life. That's the joy of being an entrepreneur, right? That you could do your business when you want and how you want. So my business is very important to me, as I'm sure your business is very important to you, but my family is really important to me, as I'm sure your family is really important to you. So it's important in your weekly planning that you include the big family obligations. So if you have a birthday, if your kids are home on holiday, all these sorts of things, you need to take that into account to be realistic about what you're going to achieve in a certain week, right? Makes sense? So when you plan your weekly tasks, you need to see, what am I going to do this week? So let's say we're on that email, right? And you have a target for the month. This month, I am going to get 100 people on my email list. So this week, what am I doing towards that? I am working on a new lead magnet. This week, I will finalize creating my lead magnet. I will have an opt-in page. So those are your big goals and tasks for the week. All right, so you know what it is that you are doing for the week exactly, because I think the next one, no, then you have to program it into your calendar. Okay, so this week on Monday, I'm working on my lead magnet and I'm giving myself 2 hours to do that right in there. On Wednesday, I'm working on my opt-in page and I'm working 2 hours on that. On Thursday, and so on and so forth. Whatever it is that you're working on, put it in and plan it out, because then you know what it is that you need to do and you can go through and get things done. Because if you only vaguely know what you need to do, then your chances of success are much less. But if you can specify what it is that you need to do and plan in when you're going to work on it, then your chances of success raise through the roof. And I know you can do this. Okay. Number 6 is track your progress. Okay. It is so important to check what you are doing and evaluate. Now, one of my big things, I'm going to move the camera so you see my board, my monthly planning board. Whoops, camera went funny. Okay, so that's my monthly planning board where I have what I need to do, what's in progress, and what's completed, and I move tasks along the way. So I do that by the month, and then by the week, I do my weekly planning sheet that we were just talking about, the weekly planning worksheet. And then by the day, I have top 3 for today. So what I do with this is I track my progress. So I write down at the beginning of the month, I have my targets. This is what I need to achieve each month. Those go at the top. So I know what I need to achieve each month. And then I write out all the tasks that I need to do. And then I'm doing them as I go. Now I can see, because I color code this, what things am I working on? What am I not working on? What am I getting stuck on? What's been sitting there and not moving for a long time? What's been in progress for a long time but not completed? So I track what I'm doing, and at the end of each month, I do a review. To be honest, at the end of each week, I do a review, and then at the end of each month, I do a review. And this is really important, because this is where you see if your activities are going according to plan. If they are, amazing. And you know what you need to do? Celebrate your success. Yes, I talk about this all the time. You need to celebrate your wins. Absolutely. But if it's not going according to plan, then this is your opportunity to course correct. And you can figure this out now, when you're doing your weekly review or when you're doing your monthly review, rather than 3 months down the line or 4 months down the line when you're like, uh-oh, now I have a problem. Okay, and then step number 7 is accountability. Okay, accountability is the secret sauce to make things happen. Accountability is amazing. It is what makes sure that you stay motivated, that you stay focused, and you stay accountable to somebody else, because that's going to help you keep going. If you have to tell someone what you're doing and how far you've come and what you're doing, chances are you're more likely to do it as opposed to staying in your own head, right? So there are lots of different resources that you can use to get accountability. I highly recommend getting an accountability buddy or joining a mastermind group. There's obviously coaching, which is a great form of accountability. I have a membership site that I'm putting together, that I'm running, where we have loads of accountability. That is one of the main benefits, that it provides accountability and regular feedback. Or you can, in the meantime, you could join Facebook. And there are lots of groups. I have my own group, and I have a link to that here as well. And you could get accountability through the groups. But wherever you go to get accountability, whether it's one-to-one coaching, whether it's Facebook, or whether it's anything else, make sure that you find yourself some form of accountability. I am happy to help you with your accountability. I would be honored to help you with your accountability. But wherever you decide to look for it, please make sure that you find some, because that is what is going to make that special difference for you. Okay, so that's it. Those are the 7 steps that you need to take in order to reboot 2021 and make it a success and make it absolutely amazing. Now listen, I know you have this. I know you can do this. I know it sounds like a lot of steps, and I've detailed them down below, but you can do this. You have this. You are an amazing entrepreneur. You can absolutely put all this together. And if you feel like you're off track, you can absolutely get back on track. And if you feel like you're on track, you can dial it in even more and rock it out. Okay? Please let me know in the comments below what you are doing to reboot your 2021. And I cannot wait to talk to you soon.